Hello, Artist Paris here, and today I wanted to talk about what do you use to carry your snuff in if you're not going to wear cargo pants and slip these kind of large amounts of snuff into your pocket to take a sniff from time to time. I'm going to show you the evolution that my snuff use led me towards and where I ended up in terms of what I end up carrying. So when I first began snuffing or taking snuff, I bought these types of containers which hold about 5 grams of snuff. They fit in your pocket easily. They function as a tap box. And for that reason, they can be quite convenient. Over time, though, I found that I wanted to try other snuffs that didn't have a real convenient container, the larger ones. And also, I found that I liked carrying a variety of snuffs. But my first idea was to buy a snuff box. I wasn't going to buy one of the antique or special ones made in silver or that. So I found this snuff box on the internet. You can put your snuff in here, and the end works as a tap box. On the other hand, if you just want to put enough snuff for the day, or you wanted to take a variety of snuffs, this was a pretty bulky case to carry with me. I quickly abandoned that and decided I wasn't going to use that anymore. I fell upon some little jewelry boxes, that they use to put various necklaces, medals, earrings, or whatever in. And I found that that was kind of neat because now I could see how much snuff was in the box. This one here was one of my favorites. And for the most part, it didn't let snuff leak out because you can't just use any type of box or case because the snuff would end up leaking out and being in your pocket. This was a good one because I could lift it off this way, take the snuff out, and use the pinch method. On the other hand, it still seemed a little bit larger than what I needed. What I did find out was that these types of snuff tap boxes could easily be opened, and one could refill them with whatever you wanted. On the other hand, this amount of snuff, quantity of snuff, was way more than what I really wanted to carry with me at any one time. The smaller little tins like this can also easily be opened and then could be refilled. But in time, they are going to become looser, and it means that normally, if you're only going to put a gram or two, you've got 3 grams of space, and it takes air, and whereas I rehydrate my snuff, which I'll explain maybe in another video, I found that these were rather cumbersome for filling and for seeing how much snuff you actually have in reserve carrying with you. I thought that my saving grace would then be the use of the bullets. I tried the plastic and the metal, and I found that the snuff would get clogged in there so that no matter how much pulling I did on it, I wouldn't be able to get the full dose. But later on, maybe as it dried out, it would go off in my pocket and so forth. And I generally found also that as far as being able to inhale the snuff. It wasn't as portion controlled as I thought it was going to be, so I ended up using it more as a tap box. And particularly the metal one, you tap that thumbnail often throughout the day. Eventually, you're going to kind of bruise yourself for that. What I ended up looking for were what I think they call smash boxes. Now, the smash boxes that were sold at the various snuff sites that I saw were about this size. Also, they were fluorescent or colored green, and it really sent a message when you were going to open them up and use them. Once again, they were much larger than what I really felt I needed. I ended up contacting a number of sites on the internet. Unfortunately, none of them would ship to France, but I finally found a way to have them shipped by a friend because they were much more reasonably priced. This is a box that I use sometimes if I'm going away, and I can fill this up with one variety of snuff, and I can carry any number of them. This was a much smaller, but still not too thin, and I finally lucked upon these really tiny snuff boxes, or samples boxes. Sometimes they're sold for sample cosmetics and so forth. They sell for less than 15 cents a piece. You can buy them in bulk. You can buy as many as 50 at a time. And I ended up being able to take a small quantity of snuff, put it into one of these snuff boxes. I've labeled each one, which is a one-time deal. And then as I accumulate various snuffs, I'm able to just fill them up. I have them here arranged a little bit, the florals, the tobacco alone flavors, the schmaltzes, and so forth. And it is my favorite way for carrying snuff. A last product that I was able to buy from one of the snuff stores was the smaller, much smaller than the original box that I had bought to hold snuff. This one here is much smaller, much more convenient, and it also will function as a tap box if you wish to use it that way. But my method that I use the most often is this method here. I might pick up 5 or 6 of them at a time. I put the tobacco ones flavored without much flavoring into my left pocket. I put the flavored schmaltzes and florals into my right pocket. And throughout the day, I'm able to sample the various different types of snuff that I have. Because it's a small container, they don't dry out quickly, and they work very efficiently.